Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back to TRACKILICIOUS. We are here for another installment of the GT4 Rookie Series. And boy, is it going to be a fun one today. Having looked at the practice times, it looks like there are a lot of people who are pretty close on their times. And yeah, looking like it's going to be an exciting race. That being said, I was about to go to the grid, but looks like I've just been kicked out. So let's try to get back in. Hope everybody's doing well. We are in the final moments of qualifying here. Get connected. Yeah. How's everybody doing today? Hello, Alex, Jaeger, Mariko, Rally, Mr. Sullivan, JP. Hope everyone's doing well. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing working. Let's see if we can get some fun ACC things as we are towards the tail end of qualifying here for the Rookie Series. If you all remember, it is one qualifying session for two 20-minute races. So quali is super, super important for everyone to do well in. And with less than a minute left in qualifying, we have Go topping the charts. The even number sitting there waiting patiently, and only 4/4 of a second behind is Luke Nelson. Gerald Diaz, the I'm Dominican smiley face car. 2/10. Vlad Maverick trying to best his time. Still on track, looking for what little bitty advantages he could find. Is up on his time. Looks like was up on his time. That might have been a bit of a commentator's curse. Oh, okay. Thank you. I did update it, but for some reason it is not taking. Thanks, JP. Let's check things here. Now we'll change it. It's this time it's not me not pressing the buttons, which is usually I'm willing to take the blame when there are things that I don't do, but I have pressed all of the buttons. Always blame Eric. Always blame Eric. Like that. Be great if you guys could hear the audio, which we have now. Hopefully, the stream title has been updated. No, maybe not. I'm gonna press some buttons here to try and make that happen. How's everyone doing today? You guys excited about this? Another fun installment of the Rookie Series? Every season, I just get so hyped. Spady Bud, been in here for a couple seasons, practicing pits. Smart, as Mike Noss always says. Never an Eric stream unless something's wrong. I've tried so hard to get the perfect stream. I've yet to do it. yet to do it, but maybe one day. One day when I grow up, we'll get there. Still, always, it's nice to always have room to improve. All righty. What do we have here? Let's see. Do a wee bitty grid walk, as we have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. We'll go in the Silver Tiger Racing Janetta 892 in P1, topping the charts. What a fantastic performance by Will. Luke Nelson in the Dead Fish Racing Aston Martin in the 33 in P2. Vladislav Maverick in the 74 Mercedes. Looks like we're missing a car somewhere, with Mariko Yatanashi in the Nine Tail Racing Aston Martin, number 53 in P4. Colin Sugg in P5 in the Porsche here. Jeff Shepard, Beers and Skids Racing, 867 in P6. Spady Bud in the top 10 position here in P7 in the Mercedes. Fantastic job by Spady Bud. Dr. Porkchop in the Aston Martin. Canadian driver Wade Georgeson in the Beast United 707 Aston Martin in P9. Brian Easton in P10. Fantastic job closing off the top 10 position. Joan Perez in the Porsche Motorsport number 20 in P11. Scott Sullivan. Oh, sorry, not Scott Sullivan. So used to saying Scott's name. he's in the chat. It's Shane Sullivan in the 617 Racing in P12. Lily Chambers in the Starlight Racing Porsche in P13. Aaron John in the Vortex is Gaming Mercedes in P14. Frederick Velez in Latin Race Sim Race in P15. Yipku Dooku in the Prout McLaren. And finally, Diaz Herald in the final position in P17. I'm not sure why he's over there. He shouldn't be over there, but I'm sure we can figure it out at some point in time. Well, there you have it. You have the grid. We have a request. If I'm able to, I will oblige JP. Let me pull up the information and I can tell you who the past winners are this season. That is a good question, Mariko. Is something... Hopefully it wasn't a start from the back situation, because we do tell people not to do that. It just causes more problems, honestly, than it doesn't. So we do have 2 rounds completed. Round 1 in Valencia. Race 1 results are... It is a P1 for Gerald Diaz, Colin Sugg, Vladislav Maverick, 1, 2, 3 for race 1. Race 2 was Diaz, Maverick, Yatanashi in Barcelona. In Valencia, the results for race 1 were again Diaz, Maverick, Luke Nelson sneaking in the top 3 with the next race, race 2, going to Diaz, Yatanashi, and Spady Bud with his first podium in the Rookie Series. Fantastic, I believe. And that gives us a result with the standings being Gerald Diaz in P1 with 124 points, with 4 first places, really. Vladislav Maverick in P2 with 106 points, and a very tight Colin Sugg, P3, tied with Mariko Yatanashi, P4. So 102, 102, and then a 95-95 with Spady Bud and Luke Nelson. The championship is incredibly tight. That is really cool to see, the grouping. And yes, very likely, JP, that we will be graduating, or Diaz will be self-graduating into the non-rookie series very, very shortly. He is very new to ACC. I think the first rookie series was his first race in ACC, coming from controller, if I remember correctly. So he is a technical rookie, but for sure has some experience somewhere else, and an incredibly quick driver. Great to see. Great battles between him and Maverick in the past, as the folks come here through the third sector as we get ready to go and start racing here in South Africa. Everybody lining up and 2x2 formation coming around the incredibly difficult complex of corners, around the crocodiles, through Cheetah, one of the most interesting kind of do or die corners in all of ACC. So, oh no, Marika forgot to add fuel. That is going to be incredibly hurtful for, hopefully, oh no. And we're going to get ready here, lining up again, 2x2 formation. Go Nelson, Yatanashi, Sug, and we are tingling with excitement as we wait for the green flag, ACC, and we are green, green, green. Everybody looks like they got a pretty decent start. Going too wide in the back here. Looks like the P1, P2 positions. Huge send by Maverick. Decides the better of it. Everyone looking quite nice coming around the corner. As you may or may not know, we give pretty severe penalties for any contacts in lap 1 to encourage everybody to survive the lap 1 positions. And we have contact in the back, unfortunately. A bit of a touch between the Aston Martin of somebody. I don't know who exactly, but they do touch and end up in the bottom. That was Porkchop and Dooku, who decide to rejoin now and continue on with the race. There may be some penalties coming their way for the rest of this race. Oh, that's what it could have been. It could have been that Diaz had a penalty, but looks like we have Luke Nelson taking that P1 position through the first lap here at Kyalami. Now going through the hairpin at Leo Cup 10 and 11. Incredibly important exit as Nelson tries to line himself up with the Janetta in the back, threatening. Going down the hill through Mineshaft into the crocodiles and the lovely death-inspiring Cheetah. Death was inevitable. I would like to disagree with you there, JC. I feel like it is inevitable. Hopefully, I always inspire for a clean start at Kyalami. I always wish and hope, and with hope, maybe one day we'll get there. But so far, incredible racing by everybody. Some not so much, but others, yeah, pretty good. Velez here threatening Sullivan's position. A train building up behind Shane. I keep wanting to say Scott. We've said Scott so many times. Velez does go by it side by side, continues to do so, and decides to tuck behind. Sullivan doing a good job. Now Velez looking on the inside, tucking behind to try and get any draft that he can. Again, knowing that the GT4s aren't as aerodynamically driven as the GT3s are, but there is still some of that suck behind the car. You will inevitably get some. You even get some when you're bicycling, let alone having a car in front of you. So it is incredible how much that does affect your performance. Again, Shane Sullivan here, the conductor of the Kyalami train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars behind, looking to gain an advantage. Velez, huge send, looks on the inside, makes the move stick, and that is a position. Shane looking on the inside, trying to get the position back. Both going down this incredibly long hill. Shane does get a nose ahead as they go onto the grass. Braking is going to be critical here. Is Velez going to be able to maintain it? Goes wide, unfortunately, a little hit, and corrects him. And Shane ends up being the winner. I don't think there was much that could be avoided there. Really good bumper to bumper or door to door racing, and not so much in that particular condition as they go through Cheetah, the death defying corner, and Shane ends up losing a couple of positions, but some pretty good racing for rookies. I would say that was good performance as they learn they're growing. They're these growing teenagers where their limbs are longer than their abilities. And it's nice to see some racing here, and hopefully they do recognize to apologize for their mistakes as they learn the art, the skill, the craft of racing. As we have Spadey Bud here, Mercedes on Mercedes challenging Maverick. Maverick going into a defensive position. Spadey Bud choosing the outside line. Not quite enough. Incredibly difficult to overtake on the outside of Sunset there as we go through turn 6 up into Clubhouse. Spadey Bud still tucked in, threatening Maverick. Colin Sugg enjoying the views of this challenge behind, as the more they battle, the more opportunity Sugg has to create a gap. Spadey Bud looking again, trying to position himself to take that move, to make that happen on the top of the hill here. Not quite enough. Hopefully gets a great exit. Both cars looking like they have pretty decent pace onto Sugg ahead. Looks like Luke Nelson's still in P1, so let's keep our attention here in this battle as Spadey Bud continues to try to pressure onto Maverick. Maverick known to put in an immense number of laps. Again, very new to sim racing, Vladislav Maverick is, and being helped by the Trackalicious community, guided through as Spadey Bud decides to go 2 wheels into the air and minimize the rolling resistance around Cheetah while trying to maximize the exit here through Ingwe on through the straight here at Kyalami. Both Mercedes, huge automobiles, threatening the itty bitty little Porsche up front, doing an incredible job trying to maximize braking. Looks like Vlad gets held up a little bit. Spadey Bud trying to take advantage, goes wide onto the corner, now on the inside, bumpy corner, gets a bit of a disadvantage, gets held behind, but what an incredible couple of corners for these two, battling really intensely and still surviving to tell the tale. Absolutely, JP. Baby on board TV, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're enjoying your day and hope you're enjoying some racing here at Kyalami with the GT4 Rookie Series. It is round 3 and we have Vladislav Maverick being overtaken by Spadey Bud up front now. Spadey has managed to make the move, but is he going to be able to keep it for another 13 minutes as Sugg has built a gap between himself and P4 and P5, hoping to keep his podium position, but I'm sure these two will be smelling blood in the water as they continue to chase down that P2 position, P3 position, I should say. And go now, having caught up to Luke Nelson in the little Janetta. Both these British cars. Rod, how come you don't see me out there racing with the rookies? You know as well as I do, I deserve being there. But if I race, Mr. Rod, then who will stream? I mean, I don't know, maybe you're trying to make a point that my streaming's that horrible that I should just be racing instead, which is a valid point. But alas, here we are trying to bring you the entertainment of the Rookie Series as looks like Luke Nelson makes a bit of an error, not quite enough for Ngo to make that move happen, but Ngo still chasing down that P1 position. Going to the back here, Lily Chambers, sorry, chasing down Yatanashi. I'm surprised to see Mariko down there, actually. Rico is usually challenging for top 4, top 5 positions. Oh, must have, oh! Whoa! Whoa, what happened? Let's see. Oh no! Spady Bud makes a mistake onto the front straight. Looks like it was a spin or a contact. My replay could not go back far enough. I apologize. In trying to be equitable to the entire grid, I've missed one of the most important incidents in all of the race. It might have been a tap. We don't know. Maybe we'll have the opportunity to go back and look at the replay later. That is unfortunate. Provolone the cheese man, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Turn around in the last turn. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it looks like he was doing quite well for that to have been a self-inflicted error. It looks like the car is quite a handful to control now. And while Spady figures that out, we do have another battle up here, another little group with Dr. Porkchop and Joan Perez. You know, I see an American flag next to Perez's name, which makes me pronounce it as Joan, but I feel like I might be doing that wrong. And if someone out there knows better, you could let me know. No tap, just spin. Okay, well, we'll go back and look at the replay if we have a chance for sure, but that is unfortunate for Spady. He's putting up an incredible battle. As we see Herald all the way up to P5 from last place. Putting just unreal performance. Not the fastest on track, actually. Luke Nelson holding the fastest lap with a 151.8, where Diaz is a 52.337. So half a second between the two, but still going from P last to P5 is a pretty substantial performance, doing quite well. Chasing down Maverick, these two, no strangers to each other, have seen incredible battles between the two, but building yet another one here in South Africa as he chases down that P4 position. Maverick also closing down to try and gain that podium spot, now only within a second of Colin Sugg. Sugg just trying to keep his head down, trying to finish the race, 8 more minutes, you know, trying to get it done. But there is threat looming in the background. Danger, says the Mercedes. Watch out. Look at the size difference. Even so much farther ahead. The Porsche looks tiny compared to the beast that is the Mercedes AMG GT in the background. Looks like there is a bit of a side-by-side battle happening there. Maverick trying to defend against Diaz in his Mercedes over here. Doing a good job so far maintaining that P4 position, but Diaz isn't gonna give up quickly. Maximizing the width of the track there. Maverick still looking ahead. Diaz still threatening behind. And another battle ensuing here between Perez and Shane Sullivan. We're going to continue repeating Shane's name just to ensure that we don't confuse it with Scott, who will be on the grid shortly in the GT4 Open Series, which we are going to stream tonight. Ooh, Perez looking on the inside. A bit of a threat, but not quite enough. Sullivan maintaining the spot ahead. Porkchop now up into P8. All these light blue cars packed up as Porkchop continues to try and keep his position, but Perez huge braking, staying on the outside. Shane forced to stay narrow, but again, is that straight line speed of the BMW going to be sufficient to help Shane keep his spot? Camera, work for us. And he does. Shane keeping that P9 position relative to the others. It looks like we do have some side-by-side between Johnny. Now oh no, we have a spin. Pork chop. Not gonna miss that one. What happened? Is this a, oh, that does look like a cheetah situation, unfortunately, and trying to avoid the curb goes extra wide on cheetah. But for those who know, when you are grip limited on those outside tires and you provide some forward encouragement through the throttle pedal and your wheels are on the grass, what it tends to do is spin you right around into the inside wall right there, cheetah. And Dr. Porkchop learns a little bit more about what not to do here at Kyalami. Looks like Herald and Maverick still going at it. Maverick putting up an immense defense. A great defensive wall. Making his countrymen proud. Does make a slight mistake. Diaz goes through, but is that something that he's going to be able to maintain? Diaz is going to have to do quite well to stay ahead on the long straight here. The Mercedes does have incredible straight line speed. For some reason, Vlad not tucking in to take advantage of the draft, but looks like Diaz has pretty firmly secured that position now as we have 4 minutes left in the race. Luke Nelson still in P1. Go not finding any pace to really make that overtake happen, unfortunately, having lost it in the first couple of corners on lap 1. That Janetta had enough to take pole position, but not quite enough so far to take P1. Janetta sending it in sunset, trying to maximize, trying to heed. Goes, oh, you don't think I could do it, Eric? Okay, well, I'm gonna show you. Absolutely maximizing every inch of track. We paid for it, might as well use it. Going strong, looking on the outside here into the hairpin on the top of the hill at Leo Cup. Unfortunately for him, the Janetta just simply doesn't have the straight line speed that he needs down the hill to make that move work. Only 3/10 behind for this incredible battle for the P1 position. Nelson holding on strong, maintaining focus. It just takes one mistake as Will is right behind in the Silver Tiger Racing Janetta. Both these brands from Britain battling for that P1 position, battling for victory here in South Africa. Will doing a fantastic job for being so tight behind another car. For those of you who don't know, it is one thing to race and hot lap and have clear air ahead of you and no cars around you to set down laps, but it's a completely different thing to be able to do that with a car ahead of you. And they go side by side into the first couple of corners. Incredible job by both these drivers, but unfortunately not quite enough for Will to make it work. Tucking in behind again as Nelson putting up an incredible battle as they go into sunset with the limited grip that both these cars have without much downforce. Now we say without much downforce, I mean relative to our irregular average cars, these cars have immense amounts of downforce, but when it comes to the GT3s relative to the GT4s, GT3s are just at a completely different level. Janetta continuing to look for opportunities. That Aston Martin trying to make itself as wide as literally possible. A wide car to begin with, but while moving left and right even wider, Nelson doing a fantastic job defensively as they continue down the hill here through Mineshaft, approaching turn 13 in the Crocodiles. Still ahead with 1 minute to go. Luke Nelson doing a fantastic job. We do have some more battles. Looks like Yatanashi is still chasing down Sullivan, only a 10th behind. Yatanashi looks on the inside. Is he able to make it work? And does seem to get side by side as they are again on the top of the mountain here, on top of the hill. That speed from the BMW has worked well for Shane Sullivan, but is it going to be enough for the great exit that Yatanashi got? Looks like Sullivan does manage to keep a nose ahead, but is on the grass now, tries to get back on, and fortunately does manage to control that BMW, but that is move done for Yatanashi, and we have a change of position. Looks like there was a poor exit for Nelson. Ngo gets a better run onto the straight through turn 1. We continue to watch the replay here. Hopefully it doesn't kick out on us, and that is how Ngo got the move done, looking on the inside. So close on the final lap. Oh, and Nelson does make the move back. Nelson goes in on turn 3, I believe. 5, barbecue. And makes it stick. Incredible battling by these two. Nelson, couple more corners to take the victory. Great efforts by Ngo, but just not quite enough so far. Only a couple of corners left here for the end of the race as they come through with the timer having ticked down to 0. Going through the Crocodiles, looking through Cheetah, manages to keep it controlled. Last corner, corner 16, Ingwe, and onto the front straight. And looks like that is going to be a well-earned P1 for Luke Nelson, finishing the race. Ngo, Silver Tiger Racing, the Canadian in P2. Valiant effort. Herald coming in P3. Maverick in P4. Sug managing to stay ahead. Or no, having lost a position to Herald and Maverick down into P5. Ryan Easton coming in the purple Jurassic Racing Camaro in P6. Yatanashi, after not having fueled up enough for the race, it seems like, comes in at P7. Shane Sullivan valiantly fighting all this time, managing to get some benefit onto this race. P8, John P9, Shepard P10, Chambers P11, Perez P12, Velez P13, Wade Georgeson P14, Dooku 15, Porkchop 16, and Spady Bud, unfortunately, at the very end, was got a DSQ. Was that speeding in the pit lane? Marco, that was a good job. For the reporters in the pits said that you had not had enough fuel. You had to go in for a pit stop unplanned. Let's see if we can pull up the replay. Let's see what happened to Bud. Live. Oh, there we go. Oh, I thought it was on the front straight, but it looks like it's actually T1. Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry. Wait. What happened? I have no idea what's going on. Seem to kick out on us. Oh, okay. We're back into the race now. Well, I'll try to pull it up after this race while we're waiting for the Open Series to start. Let's see if we can get it then. Well, we have the same grid as before. Same grid as before. And that means Will be starting in P1 again. But the real question is, where is Luke Nelson? Why there's a disconnect? They just popped into the bottom. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's some funky stuff happening, and I'm not quite sure what, but let's try to keep our attention here. We'll do another grid walk since things are changed a little bit. We'll go Silver Tiger Racing and P1 here. Vladislav Maverick, P2. Gaining positions without having to do anything. We'll talk about that in a second, Alex. Marika Yatanashi hopefully having put fuel into the car this time around in P3. Colin Sugg in P4. Did a fantastic job, but just didn't quite have enough to hold back the threat of Diaz and Maverick in the last race. Jeff Shepard in P5. Dr. Porkchop in P6 having made a mistake earlier or gotten into a situation. I don't know if it was his fault or not, but Wade Georgeson coming in at P7. Brian Eason in P8. Perez in P9. Shane Sullivan in P10. Immense battles for Shane through the race. Lily Chambers. Cool little graphics of a ghost there. A heart mouth, if that was intended. That's kind of cool. Aaron John in P12. Velez Frederick in P13. Dooku in P14. Gerald in P15. Luke Nelson in P16. And somewhere back here, Beatty Bud out of position in P17. I would guess, if I were to guess, I would guess that Spady's situation was self-inflicted. We don't know how, but it did happen. So, to address Xander's comment here, so we had our 12 hours of Bathurst. Gather around, children, it's story time. At 12 hours of Bathurst on Saturday here at TRACKILICIOUS, and unfortunately we had some server issues. And amongst these server issues, we were forced to have a restart. You know, it happens in ACC quite often, unfortunately. And while we did the server restart, none of my teammates were available, Alex. So I was kind of in a bit of a panic. Was at the start, and I hear my USB going boop, and my pedals disconnected. And if you know ACC, when some of your hardware disconnects and you reconnect it, it doesn't. So I have had surgery on my knee. I had ACL and meniscus repair. So like handicapped, jumped down under my rig, unplug the pedal, put it back in, and ACC doesn't recognize the pedals, so I press drive, get onto the grid, Alt L4, get out of the game, start it back up, get back onto the grid. Fortunately, we're in the pits. Pedals are now working. Alex, at some point in time when I'm out, Alex goes, oh, I'm in. So he's in the server when I'm not, which makes his entry invalid for the rest of the race, obviously. And then I join. Fortunately, pedals are working. Managed to start the race in the pits. I'm only a couple seconds behind, and you know, Bathurst is usually crazy. So within half a lap, I'm already in the back of the grid and battling. But now Alex is unable to join. Yeah, ACC doesn't like any of the things I'm well aware. JP, we had to deal with all of it at the same time, but fortunately, just gave Alex my Steam ID and let him race the rest of my stints as minimum driver time is not enforced here at Trackalicious. But what is enforced is the fantastic grid that we have here. The red flag, the red lights are still up and soon to turn green, which makes me realize not very colorblind friendly, but here we have it. It is a start for race 2 for the Rookie Series here in the third round at Kyalami. Not taking any chances, Will. An incredible start. Manages to secure that P1. Vlad going up into P2 or maintaining P2. Mirko Yatadashi threatening that P2 position. These top three very well versed in racing. Very well versed in racing each other. We have some side-by-sides. Unfortunately, there's a contact back there, and we see Sullivan spun around by the Camaro of Ryan Eason. More yellow flags happening. Oh, we had such a relatively pretty start for the first race, and we're seeing carnage back there, but let's not pay attention to that. Let's look at the racing that's happening. Porkchop managing to get through this time. P7 for Porkchop, chasing down Sug. Sug, we know, has great pace, had done an incredible job of defending for so long and just giving out at the very last minute. It takes so much concentration, so much skill to be able to defend for so long. Sug having done an incredible job for a rookie and is looking to do that again. Looks like Porkchop making a move on the inside here as they go down Mineshaft. Here down the hill at Kyalami, now on the outside, both on the limit of grip as they send it down into what is the Crocodiles. These corners, I keep having to check them. The Crocodiles, and now into Cheetah. Porkchop tempting faith on that curb on the inside of Cheetah, but manages to live to die another day. Porkchop chasing down this Porsche, looking pretty good. The tightest battle on the field so far, along with Luke Nelson, Velez, and Georgeson just behind, and we can go out and check them out in a second here. Porkchop looking for a send, does go on the inside, makes it to the apex, now side by side as they make it through these incredible technical corners. The outside not so optimal on the right hander there, but it is on the left. Bit of a tap wide for Porkchop. Does that give Sug an opportunity to come back? No, Porkchop makes it stick, and that is P5 for P4, excuse me, for Dr. Porkchop as our timing charts update. Incredible complex of turns. Good job, Porkchop. Sug, I'm sure, is going to be wanting to come back. In the meantime, we do have Velez Georgeson here in a battle. Georgeson up ahead. With Velez just behind. Chris Joki, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome here to Trackalicious. We are in race 2 of 3 tonight. 1 and 2 being the Rookie Series and 2 being the GT4 Open Series. These rookies fighting tooth and nail to try and gain every single position with every ounce of their technical skill that they've learned over these past few months. Some a bit more seasoned, others brand new to sim racing, like the likes of Maverick and Diaz, new to ACC, but doing an incredible job so far. You know, they make mistakes. We all do. We all make mistakes. been racing for 3 years and managed to obtain myself the largest number of penalty points in our Pro Series just a couple of weeks ago. You know, unfortunately, it is a game of millimeters at times, and unfortunately, they were not in my favor on that day. As Velez continues to try to pressure Georgeson here. Got to win something. I'm not sure, JP, if that's quite the thing that I should be winning as an admin of the community. But alas, here we are, you know. Just gotta be quick to say sorry, ensure that people understand that there was no malintent behind it, and we live to race another day. And Shepard, having made a mistake, losing out the position to Georgeson here. Now side by side with Velez. So tough. Kyalami is so technical. Velez does manage to get ahead. Continue to chase down Georgeson now. Bud coming in with a fiery revenge. Bud versus Kyalami. Not against anybody, just against the track itself. Gets that move done as Bud continues to look ahead to try and gain as many positions as possible. Oh, something happened to Workchop. Going in for a pit in a no pit race. Diaz side by side. Oh, both looking for the same piece of track. Two cars on a part of the track that could probably take 10, but they both want the same slot. Seemingly, Diaz does make it ahead. Looks like Sug subject to another loss of position, losing out that P4 yet again. Gerald making his way up into P4 as we're waiting for our timing charts to update. It says 4 on the bottom right, but there we go. Flips over to 4 on the top as he continues to chase down that podium spot of Yatanashi up ahead. Yatanashi, I'm sure, is going to want to make it as difficult as possible. Luke Nelson in P6 having the fastest lap. Nelson coming back with a vengeance, able to win the previous race, and having started farther back for some reason, and is now attacking ahead, having the fastest lap of the race 13 minutes ago, so quite a few laps to make something happen. Lots of Aston Martins on the grid, I'm noticing. Does get the position from Sug and continues to chase down Diaz. Nelson and Diaz is going to be quite a spicy battle as both look ahead, but let Diaz not make the mistake of underestimating Luke Nelson, having won the previous race. How is everybody doing in chat today? You all vibing? Cruising? Enjoying some fantastic rookie series racing? Out of a pack back here, Spady Bud chasing down Velez with Shepard just behind. Velez making a mistake is going to be optimal for Spady Bud. Nice, Alex. You put your practice in this week. How many laps do you have under your belt? Who has the most laps? I'm curious about that. Open Series is getting pretty competitive too. And Spady Bud still looking to get Velez uncomfortable. does seem to have the pace, but also has Shepard and Dooku right behind. Bud looking on the inside. Not quite enough, decides the better of it. Oh! And enough to make Velez have an accident on his own. What happened? Just looks like just a missed braking point. Rejoin reasonable, thank you for that. And unfortunately, that's 2 positions down for Frederick Velez. Luke Nelson now, ooh, really close to Diaz. Just 52 laps. Alex, you have no idea how jealous I am of you being able to put 52 laps down. I think that's what I put down in all of my 12 hours of Bathurst. Must be nice not to have endless responsibilities. Not always helpful in corners 10 and 11. Yeah, sometimes ABS giveth and sometimes it taketh away, it sounds like, JP. And with your incredible wealth of technical knowledge of the ACC, I will take your word for it. Nelson loads of pressure onto Herald here. How are their ABSs working today? Not so well for Diaz. Not so well for Diaz. Look, Nelson going side by side down through mineshaft. Huge downhill. Exit speed working its magic for Nelson. Where is Diaz going? Oh no, makes a mistake. Huge dive and braking, and that's gonna be a position loss for Diaz as Nelson nails that apex and gets that exit, both making it through Cheetah alive and well, and that is a position textbook by Luke Nelson. Fantastic move, incredible, great job. Up into P4 now, chasing down Mariko Yatanashi, who seems to have fueled enough for this race. It's in that P3 position, but 7 seconds is quite the mountain to climb for only 8 minutes and 20 seconds left. Looks like Will has just left the other drivers in the dust, making sure that he doesn't have to deal with any situations like he had to in the previous race. Hard focus and ensuring that gap is maintained and increased, if anything. Yatanashi only a half a second from Maverick, but just not quite having enough to make that move work or make anything happen just yet. But we'll be continuing to look at it. Looks like we have some side-by-side battle here between Dooku and Georgeson. Georgeson breaking a little bit early in what looks like sunset. I believe it is sunset as we see the flag of Kyalami, or I should say South Africa on the outside there. Oh no! Mistake and a spin for Dooku. Oh, that is unfortunate. Again, Kyalami incredibly technical, so hard to make something work and stick, and Velez now going to be looking at an opportunity to take that P10 spot from Georgeson. Looking on the inside, getting incredibly close, bumping and banging door to door through Liu Cup. Does manage to make it stick. Argy-bargy, some might say. Bumping and banging, fair. I'll leave it up to you to decide. Oh no! Misses the breaking point and gives the position right back to Wade Georgeson, and that is back up to P9 for Georgeson. Excuse me, everyone. Here we go. Okay, we're back. We need to take sips more often. That is, and for those who forget, Mike. get the shop one up there too. We do have hydrate stickers to help you remind you to hydrate during broadcast, sim racing, all over on TRACKILICIOUS.com. Check it out. We have some pretty cool stuff. Hydrate stickers, something apparently which I need to get. I want to go back to this battle. Looks like Herald not quite taking the L that was given to him by Luke. Oh, Kushoki, that's awesome. Who are you cheering for? Let us know. Might give us the opportunity to watch them a little more, whether or not they are in a battle, which Herald and Nelson are deep in. JP, is that the first time? Is that the first time you're seeing them? Unfortunately, they're a little expensive for my liking, but it's literally the cheapest we could make them. They're just determined by the price that we got them for. So, because they're fully custom, even though they're relatively simple, yeah, check them out. Ryan Easton, okay, cool. Sword and Keyboard, hello, Shan, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Where's Easton? Easton had made a mistake earlier on in the race, unfortunately, for Joki, and now is just in an island, but does have a pretty cool livery. Maybe we could have a quick look at the Jurassic Racing Camaro. Ooh, looks like it's been a rough go for the Camaro. But I do love the color and the finish. Super cool. Alrighty, what else do we have going on? Herald still pushing and pushing and pushing, but just doesn't quite have enough. Want to say that even though they're battling, they are closing the gap on Mariko Yatanashi, but just not, again, 6 seconds and 2-ish minutes, 2.5 minutes, not quite enough, seeming 2 more laps probably. But these guys are fighting hard as if it is a P1 position that they're looking for. And you know what? I love that. I love every battle, every position counts. And that's how I like to treat my racing, as I am often in the back, but it is super critical to maintain that focus. You did these races? You should. Caveman, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, they are going hard, and I think they are still the closest battle on the field. I think they are, and Luke Nelson, an absolutely lovely clinical pass on Diaz, forcing Diaz into an error. Some Diaz fans in chat. Tracer, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Oh, looks on the inside. Sends it over under for Luke. Has the inside line. Insufficient overlap. Diaz makes it stick, but makes a mistake. Makes a mistake. on Cheetah. Nelson goes back through. Wow, incredible racing by these two. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Great moves. You can't just make the move work. You gotta keep making the corners work after that. As Diaz learns, Luke Nelson, incredible amount of focus, patience, makes that, defends the position well, side by side again. Luke Nelson taking the exit. Diaz coming back at Luke. What an incredible artistry between these two. Diaz giving it everything, seemingly having learned a thing or two in the past couple of laps, or maybe Luke having pushed his tires a bit too hard as we go through Sunset. Lovely view of the corner. Luke going defensive, Diaz pushing as hard as possible. Oh no, we don't want to see that. Wow, that I love it. I love this place. I love it for this reason exactly. Diaz making the mistake, apologizing, sportsmanship, 10 out of 10. My driver of the day. Great job, Luke Nelson. Great job, Gerald Diaz. These days make me so excited. Love it. Great, incredible battles. Incredible. Both of those guys probably would have dusted me in about 0.176 seconds. But skill beyond measure. Still some battles for position. Looks like Shepard, Bud, Sugg. Sugg looks like made a mistake. Sugg, unfortunately. And we did miss Will's finish, but just nothing much to be said except fantastic job. Learn from his mistakes. Drifting through the corner in victory. Maverick P2, Yatanashi P3, Luke Nelson coming in P4. Harald, I'm gonna pick for my driver of the day in P5. Perez and Georgeson battle to the finish. Perez going wide though, and unfortunately that is not gonna be a position for him. That is incredible. Incredible race. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. And I'm sure while we wait for Retrovex Raid, welcome. Thank you so much. We are here just ending our rookie series races. However, don't fret, friends. We are in for some more racing. We're going to look at some replays here in a moment, but let's give Retro a shout out if I know how. How are you doing? How was your raid? What do you stream? What do you race? Are you a racer driver? Welcome everybody. Let's go have a look at.
Green light. Give it all you got.
I presume from your email that you are for sure one who races. What sims do you race on? Alright, we're looking for Spady Bud here. Don't worry, friends. We are going to go back. Oh. We're going to have some more racing here at TRACKILICIOUS. The rookie series is over, but some of our rookies are going to be going into the Open Series. Here in a second. They just want to go and see where he won. Oh, here we go. does Spady get caught out? Oh, Gerald, that's what you're apologizing about. That is really unfortunate. That sucks. Well, Gerald, yeah, appreciate the apology. I'm not sure if Spady's here, but maybe in Discord would be nice as well. Oof. Right into the wall. Unfortunate. Part of racing, I suppose. Appreciate you popping in here, Gerald, and apologizing. That's really nice. And for those of you who just joined us, we do have a couple minutes until the Open Series starts. I want to go back and watch this amazing racing between Luke Nelson and Gerald Diaz. Great, I'm a commentator for ACC console leagues. We just finished the season. Oh, that's fantastic. That's awesome. Console league with 40 plus drivers in every race. And race pace at 101 LFM. That is phenomenal. What is the league called? What is the community called? Welcome everybody. Unfortunately, we don't do any console racing ourselves, but very happy to hear that we have some North American communities or some American communities, whether it's North or South, considering that it is this time zone, that do that. Go Fast Racing. Where are you guys based out of? That's fantastic. As we see some incredible racing between these two. Luke Nelson and Gerald Diaz. Yeah, Spady, I don't know if you just joined, but if you scroll up, Gerald did apologize. Got a bit of lag and unfortunately bumped into you. You're doing phenomenal, though. We did catch some of your progress. Great job. Really good racing. Love to see your improvement through the seasons. Oh, super cool. Super cool. Well, I'd love to see some of your content. So, I'm not sure if you are a part of our Discord, but we'd be happy to have you join and, yeah, share your stuff. And we have a self-promotion channel, assuming that your stuff doesn't overlap ours. We encourage people to share. There we go. That should give you our Discord there, and for those who are also on PC looking to expand your horizons, we do have PC leagues that we run, and LMU and iRacing. We continue this. This battle was Gerald and Luke. I know Gerald, you're in here. Luke, if you're in here, that was phenomenal racing. Amazing. Retrovex, that's super cool. Love hearing about all the stuff that you guys are doing, and that ACC console racing is going strong. Taking the opportunity to take a This was super fun again. Really good racing. Alrighty. It is almost that time. It is almost that time. Alrighty. JP, if you haven't seen already, a little bit of Trackalicious merch here. Yeah, I will as well when I get out of here. I'm not sure if I can do it in here. Yes, I can. There you go. You'll have to check your content out for sure. Let's see if our crew have started their adventure in the open series. Oh yeah, perfect timing. Sit in the booth with Calvin Fish and Ryan Myron.
Green line. Give it all you got.
I apologize, Retro. I'm not quite sure who those people are and would love to be informed. Another raid, Nacho Donkey 19. Welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope everybody's doing well. We are continuing our conversation with Retrovex, a fellow ACC streamer. Get our stuff all figured out here. And go into the broadcast. Oh, Jeff, awesome. Caught a couple of moments. I think you were in battles a couple of times through the race. more swarm than anything, I think, Jeff. I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's super cool. Ryan Marin is a global motorsport commentator for IMSA, IndyCar, Formula E, and GTWC. Very cool. Excellent, Jeff. Well, at the very least, I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, it might have not been your best performance, but was it fun? That's the real question. And Retro, that's super cool. Super cool. I've had the fortune of having met a couple of drivers, Daytona winners. But yeah. Again, welcome Raiders. This is our third race of the evening. We just had our 2 Rookie Series races in the GT4 Rookie Series, both incredible, where we were seeing, I think 31.4 was about where we were for pace. Oh, really cool. Well, Retro, thank you so much for stopping by. I'll definitely be sure to check out your content, and hopefully if you've joined our Discord and are looking for more opportunities, I'd love to have a conversation with you. With that being said, have a good night, and I'll see you around, I hope. Jeff, my entire sim racing career is about almost. I've done a lot of almosts myself. Alrighty, who is on the grid? We have a Sullivan, and and yeah, and it's not Shane this time. It is a Scott Sullivan, a name we're quite familiar with. Justin Beachley out there. Surprised that Beachley doesn't have a livery. Calling you out, Beachers. I did download the liveries just before the race today. Randy and the Apex Advisory Camaro always puts on a good show with his liveries. Nice. It sold my sim wheel and pedals to help my daughter get through nursing school. I remember that. Congratulations, that is a huge achievement. Nursing school is incredibly tough. I have some nurse friends and one who is actually being trained and in school to be a nurse anesthetist. Anesthetist. Say that 10 times. Yeah, really great job. Tough work for sure. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to deal with some nice people, and sometimes you have to deal with some not so nice people. Oh, awesome, and a job. That is fantastic. Congratulations. How does it feel to have yielded a person out of the house and like on their own and kind of working, and you know, even if she's not out of the house, you know, having raised a sprout. Beachley topping the charts with a 150. Oh, I think that's an outlap. Doesn't quite jive with the numbers we were seeing earlier. Or maybe my ability to remember numbers is just horrible, which is also very possible. So, Jeff, I have 4. And I'm in the very early stages of this process, if you like, with the oldest being 4.5 and the youngest being 11 months old. So it's exciting to see some of their achievements for sure, but I'm sure one of the biggest is that step of getting out of college and finding a job and being self-sufficient. I'm looking forward to that day. Not too quickly from what I hear, as I've been told many a time that it flies by quite quickly, so we're trying to appreciate all the shenanigans they put us through in these young ages. That is fantastic, Jeff. Congratulations. Good job. I'm doing my best to not completely mess my kids up. I'm not sure if I'm succeeding or miserably failing, but I'm trying. As Beachley comes here through the final corner. No, not the final corner. I'm sorry. Where is he? I think going through Sunset. Yeah. They completed a full lap. Provolone, I'm sure has gotten busy. He used to race here a lot more consistently, but you know, people come in and get out, and life gets in the way of sim racing, or sim racing sometimes gets in the way of life, and you need to take a break. So it's it happens. We get it. Yeah, exactly. We will try to be here for as long as possible, forever and ever, to ensure that there's always a place for people to come back to and enjoy this common love for all of us. So oh my goodness, 2/10 in Beachley and Brace. Beachley, that is a smoking time. And Brace coming back in the classic color combo, which I don't think anyone's guessed what the color combo represents. So I encourage you, those in chat, to try still. $55 last month. Nice. Happy belated birthday. Life happens and flies by, huh? There we go. 49.9 for Beachley. Brace looking for it. Trying to best his 50.2.
Holy smokes!
Joe, thank you so much. Resubscribed for 12 months. Or for 13 months. That's almost a year. Almost. Welcome, Joe. How's it going? Are you in this race, Joe? What are you doing in chat? Why aren't you racing? Where are you? Almost. Race? Any improvement? No, it looks red on the charts. Final lap for Dan. Got Sullivan up into P4. Hansen. Little wobbly on entry. Custom livery for Alex. Diving into the dark arts of ACC. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you have been slacking, Joe. Get in here. Just join the race right now. From the back. Come on, slap your rig together. Do it. Big shout out to the rookies who are in here. Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's so cool. You know, a lot of people get intimidated by racing in series like this, and I kind of get it, I suppose. There are a lot of things that when it comes to racing that are quite intimidating of any form. Track days, as you guys know, some of you know that we do real life track days here in the Midwest. So that first step's always really tough. It takes a lot of encouragement to be willing to take that first step. But what I've found is that we just have an incredible community, incredible group of people willing to encourage those to do that, to take that step and be supportive. And you know, you have folks like Alex, relatively new, already incredibly quick, annoyingly. Stop being so quick, Alex. So frustrating being here for 3 years and just watching all these people come in. Oh, I don't know how to sim race, and then within a month they're way faster than me. Buggers. My competitive spirit getting frustrated, but I mean, we love to see it, right? That's what we're here for. Love seeing all the progress from these people, and some continue on to do great things as the pros tuck in with their qualifying session now over, and we go on to the rookies as we have the return of Alejandro Pulgarin out on track looking to make some things happen. Why wait till Zolder, Joe? Just hop in. Just race. What's the worst that can happen? You'll crash in flames and die and not finish the race, but had 2 more tenths in you. Yeah, Beachley, as I was saying earlier, My sim racing career's full of almosts as well. So, welcome to the club. Hope everyone's doing well. Raiders getting warmed up here as we're getting ready to get into our last race of the evening. The GT4 Open Series is the third race of the season. Race 1 was at Barcelona. Race 2 was at Imola, I believe. And while we're waiting, let me go and have a look at what the standings are. Alrighty. Ghoukasian trying to get that first lap in. In the GT4 Open Series, in the first race of the season, I'm sorry, it was Valencia, not Imola. Imola was our Pro Series. Race 1 win, Alex Hansen. Dan Brace, P2. Professor Kernotis, P3, sneaking in that great performance on the podium. Beachley, Shane Dumoulin, FNM, Alex Freeman, Alex Winchester, George Elmer, Potts Weaver, and 10 is Scott Sullivan. In the second race of the season, Beachley topping the charts, Alex Hansen, Alex Freeman, Professor Kernotis, Potts Weaver, George Elmer, Randy Gross, Scott Sullivan, Alex Winchester, Usiban Umbanesk. And that leaves the standings at Alex Hansen, super tight, 62 points. Justin Beachley, 60 points. Dan Brace, 55. Alex Freeman, 53. Professor Kernotis, 51. Potts Weaver and Shane Dumoulin, 44s. Randy Gross, 41. Tied 39s between George Elmer at 41. Randy and Alex Winchester at 39s. To top the 10. Welcome, my Canadian brethren. 2-in-1, DeBow and Mitch. Thank you. Representing 2016 World Cup of Hockey. From Rogers. Sponsored, of course. If it wasn't Canadian enough, you gotta have the Rogers on there, right? But if you think that's unreal, Trackalicious merch, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, an endurance rookie. Hey, you're not a rookie anymore. You got that under your belt. Ah, nice. Nice. Well, welcome, Mitch. Hope you're doing well. As we look at our timing charts for the rookies are trying to find their way to best each other. Diaz parking it, apparently, confident enough with the lap time that's set, being sufficient at 151. I think I said 31s, but it should have been 51s, right? So 51.3, 51.4, something like that, I think was the fastest rookie that we saw. But here we see the delineation of those with experience. Beachley coming in clutch with a 49.9 with an almost. And we have Lily Chambers still looking for a lap, coming in from the Rookie Series. Spady Butt coming in for the Rookie Series. Mercury Yatanashi coming in from the Rookie Series. Pork Chop, Maverick, Bulgarin isn't in the Rookie Series, but it has been at one point in time. And Diaz Herald also coming in from the Rookie Series. Just incredible. I know Potts is a graduate of the Rookie Series. I think Freeman did it as well. Scott Sullivan for sure. Alex Hansen. I don't know if Beachley ever did it, but just awesome. I love the Rookie Series. 6 hours of Hungary and then Bathurst on the weekend was great time. Another awesome community. Maybe I gotta get involved in this series. Mitch, you're more than welcome to. Would love to have you. We also have West Coast time. Oh no, you're East Coast, so earlier races might actually be more suitable for you. But we do have West Coast time Wednesdays. I just haven't been promoting it to you guys because I feel like having one late night Tuesday series is already quite a lot. So just been trying to be respectful and not try to overstep any boundaries, but obviously you guys are definitely welcome to join. The only series that's closed is the Pro to Pavement, and that's because there is a massive prize on the line, which is a track day, a car for the track day, and $500 travel budget. So that is what people are battling for with our fellow Canadian Jaid Hutchinson, who I believe is a Torontonian, is currently leading the championship handedly. Incredible pace. But yeah, Mitch, you're more than welcome to join. So we have the GT4 Rookie Series. So if you are Rookie rated in SimGrid, you are more than welcome to join. Or the Open Series. They go back to back. And you're welcome to join mid-season. Yep, Alex confirming graduate of Rookie Series. Now I remember talking to you, Alex, and having driven some of that mentality of don't kill each other on lap 1 working. A lot of people complain about it. I still feel like it is the way to go. Yeah, Mitch, join. I think you should join both, to be honest with you. It's so the Rookie Series is always on dry track, and the Open Series runs right behind the Rookie Series, and it is on variable weather, but it is at the same track, so you could do both championships with half the practice practically. Sounds like you need a Rookie Series to figure out your 2K problem. It took me a very long time. I don't even know if I'm out of that yet or not, but I hope I am. I'm not quite sure. Oh, Mitch, none of this consider shenanigans. Just do it. Just join. Just come in here. Have some fun. Spady Bud. Going through the last couple corners, taking flight, and practicing his pit stops, ladies and gents. That is actually... well, at least you have some tracks you can race with Kerbal. I'm in the backfield on practically every single one. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes and 51 seconds till the race begins. We are excited to have a look at who we have on the grid today and how the order is ranked here in the third installment of the TRACKILICIOUS Open Series. In P1, Justin Beachley topping the charts. The only 149 on track. Is Beachley going to be able to maintain that P1 position, albeit without a livery, Beachley? What is this? We need a cat or something on here, as he has done so before. Dan Brace in P2. P2, followed by Alex Hansen in P3, sporting the Ukrainian flag. McLaren Mercedes self-suffering, the team being called. We have Scott Sullivan in the Strive Mercedes, fashioning pink shoes with a pink body here. Professor Chronotis, the T-Swizzalicious Mercedes in P5. Alex Freeman in P6 in the AF Sport Aston Martin. Randy Gross in P7 in car number 55 in the Camaro. Lovely livery, lots of detail there, appreciated. And George Elmer sporting quite a livery himself in P8. The return of the cheese man, Jason Provolone in P9, and topping the 10 in the perfectly striated Pro Potts Weaver here in Kyalami, that Porsche, the Team Charmin Porsche. Diaz Herald coming through from the rookie series with P11. Dr. Porkchop in P12 in the Aston Martin, trying to see what his chops are going to be up to in this race, the third race of the night for him. Mercury Atanashi in P13 in the Nine-Tailor Racing Aston Martin. P14, Vladislav Maverick not topping the rookies as he was trying to do in the previous races. Alejandro Pulgarin back with some racing after having done some incredible accomplishments in real life. Smitty Bud in P16, and closing off the grid here with a lovely livery of herself, Lily Chambers. Too many clicks, too much music, more motors. Indeed, good luck everyone. Everybody, engines are roaring, getting ready to set off this 50-minute race with mandated pit stop. Maverick coming in with a 10-second penalty. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everyone's ready to watch another fantastic race. I'm gonna duck out a little bit here, get myself some hydration. Make sure I'm well lubricated for this event. Justin Beachley, playing games or warming up tires? I do love the outside of sunset. Connection kicked me out again. Well, oh, that's a bummer. Harold, we'll have to review and see what's going on. Hope you do decide to continue. I think you're still going to have a great time with having to battle through the field as you have done so already. And hopefully we can get your situation figured out. Things have been a bit funky with our servers in the last couple of days, and we haven't quite figured out what. So appreciate you letting me know. It's definitely something that we'll have to investigate and understand what is going on as we go through Liu Cup, through Mineshaft here. Everybody's engines are roaring, getting ready, getting hyped, ready for the battle. This is South Africa here at Kyalami for the third race of the season of the GT4 Open Series. Soon to be joined by Mitch Narati. Trying to will it into existence, Mitch. 17 cars on grid. Lined up 2 by 2. Led on the front row by Justin Beachley. Dan Brace. Dan Brace significantly out of position. Likely to get a penalty from that. I hope that doesn't happen. This is going to be an incredible battle. Dan Brace really testing the limits. I'm not sure of what's happening, but does get away with it. Justin Beachley being caught off guard here. Dan Brace way ahead. Managed to keep the position. Alex Hansen testing fate. Beachley tucking in behind Dan Brace. Alex Hansen on the outside. Scott Sullivan on P4. Huge send. Gets himself up into P3. Fantastic move by Scott Sullivan. Dan Brace managing to get himself firmly into P1. But we have seen the incredible pace from Justin Beachley. Everybody so far is seeming to make it through, but not just quite. Oh no. Dr. Porkchop having had a tag from behind from someone, unfortunately. But Dan Brace is still in P1, followed by Beachley, and then Scott Sullivan making his way all the way up into P3 here. Alex Hansen, Carnotis, Freeman, Gross behind. Elmer Pulgarin making his way up into P9, being the leader of the rookie class. Weaver Provolone ducking down into the reds. Now everybody trying to find their pace as their tires continue to warm up to temperature. Love that view. Look at all the cars just fighting for every possibility of grip, really. Some better judgment than others as we see Alex Freeman testing out the grass there. Lily Chambers looking to make a move on Marika Yatanashi, but just doesn't quite have the grip. Yatanashi, I think, got caught up in the pork chop situation, unfortunately. But they will have the opportunity to pit. They could pit early, they could pit late. There is no pit window. And maybe the decision to pit early and try to figure out a recovery drive. Marika's done it once already today. Maybe they're looking to do it again as Provolone has ducked all the way back into pit 15. Something's happened to Provolone. Looking to challenge Lily Chambers. Up ahead. Incredible tight pack here as we have Alex Hansen right behind Scott Sullivan, followed by Carnotis, followed by Freeman, followed by Gross, followed by Elmer, followed by Pulgarin. In the green Mercedes all the way in the back. Looks like Chrono is trying to make a move onto Hansen, making Hansen think once, making Hansen think twice, but Hansen having the benefit of having 2 races under his belt already. Look at that pack. Incredible. Beachley applying a lot of pressure onto Dan Brace up front, as we see in the background, but this pack is what we're going to keep our eye on for a second here. Hansen chasing down Sullivan. Sullivan making an incredible combination of corners in the first lap to get himself, I think, from P6 or 7 all the way up into P3. That podium spot going to be difficult to maintain with the pace behind him. Beachley, fastest lap. Needs to channel that frustration of losing P1 off of lap 1 into energy and forward progress. 1 position to gain, many to lose. What is going to be the story told of the Mercedes driver here today? This pack continuing to charge one another, having to have eyes not just one way but both ways, looking forward and behind. Can't just worry about the cars ahead. Must worry about the cars behind against Aliraza's Razzle Dazzle's expert advice of just focus up ahead and try to gap everyone behind. Easier said than done. Alex Hansen under immense amounts of pressure by Professor Kronotis. Not sufficient to break just yet, but does have to think about it for sure. Again, this pack just looking lovely. Provolone now looking at Spady Bud behind. Looks like Diaz has caught up to the pack. Threatening Pork Chop. So JP, it is a T-Swizzle livery, and I'm not sure what's happened because I did just download all the liveries right before the race, but there must be something going on where, yeah, it's just not showing. But I'm almost certain it's another T-Swizzle livery, and looks like that is the opportunity that Provolone was looking for. But that Mercedes does have incredible straight line speed, so I'm sure Spady's going to do his best to defend that position from the outside. Provi deep braking, makes the apex, has the outside line for the Ghoukasian sweep. Not quite sure how to pronounce that, but does not manage to keep it for barbecue. Spady doing a phenomenal job in defense. Looking at all the deltas, still immense amounts of battles out there on the field. Provolone again looking on the inside, just not enough. Continuing to pressure Spady Bud. Spady Bud has come a long way in his abilities to race. Had pretty decent pace before, but was caught out with inconsistencies quite often. But now showing his progress, showing his advancement and learnings, proclaiming that iRacing showed him the way. Spady Bud needed X's to tell him when not to do bad things. Afrikaans is hard indeed, and I shall not pretend to know any of it. Looks like Beachley has caught up, only a tenth between himself and Dan Brace up ahead. Yes. Welcome, Mitch. Glad. Be ready for some fun GT4 action. I don't know if you've driven the GT4s before, but they do race better with each other with the lack of downforce. So it's a lot easier to stay close to each other. So once you overcome the frustration of not having the downforce, then I'm sure you will be having fun. Scott Sullivan has succumbed to the pressure of Alex Hansen. Hansen making it up into P3. But Sullivan still maintaining a good position, chasing down Alex Hansen, trying to pressure Alex into a mistake. Looks like Alex has found pace to drop Kronotis, but Kronotis now under pressure from Alex Freeman, Randy Gross, George Elmer, all three just behind, and then a bit of a gap to Bulgarin just behind. Herald trying to make his way through the pack. Looks like Provolone did make his way through Spady Bud. Herald trying to not make one, not two, in having had an issue with Spady Bud earlier today with a bump. I believe it was in the final corner, unfortunately, but Spady going to be nervous about this one, but we do know Herald has quite a bit of pace in hand. Going to be looking at making that move happen sooner than later as he tries to progress through the field, having had a disconnect issue at the start of the race. Again, closest battle on the field. Quite a few other battles happening, but Gerald, ooh, I think there was a bit of a tap there, but not a significant one. Gerald now looking on the inside line. Well, the outside of what is turn one, the kink. Apparently it's a corner. Spady looking to come back at Diaz, looking on the inside, makes a lovely move. Gerald having been forced wide. Oh no, there's another contact between the two. Pork chop taking flight. Goodness me. That is, ooh, two does not go into one in that corner, unfortunately. Goodness me. Sometimes you just have to decide whether it's worth it. Racing is about risk assessment, and sometimes the risk is worth it, and sometimes it's not. Unfortunately, that is a big negative for Gerald Diaz, now all the way back in the back, along with Porkchop, both taking flight in one way or the other. Looks like Bud lost some positions as well. Others making it through unscathed. Going back to the pack ahead. Professor Kernotis now trying to look for an opportunity to Scott Sullivan. Now, I don't know if Scott has pace over Kernotis. I think Chrono did out-qualify him, but Scott showing incredible racecraft and making his way all the way up into P3 at the first lap. Now having to defend as Chrono does catch up to him and is only within 3/10. Freeman and Gross also eager to take advantage of the situation. Alex Hansen just driving away from the pack, but not quite enough pace to catch up to Beachley and Dan Brace. Dan Brace still maintaining that P1 position, but Beachley, even though had a bit of a wiggle there, trying to keep Brace honest and on his toes, waiting for the slightest bit of error, which could come in the pits, mind you, with the forced pit stop in this race. That could be something that will be exciting to look for, as the pit entry for Kyalami is quite sneaky. It comes up very quickly before the hard turn. So not only is the pit limit line very early, but the turn to get into the pit lane is quite challenging to maximize pace on, as Beachley continues to challenge Dan Brace here at Kyalami. Now, as they look at going through Cheetah, both surviving yet another lap of the do or die corner. Professor Kernotis seems to have made his way past Sullivan, looking on the inside here. Then that's the inside of the Crocodiles and makes that move stick. And that's a position from Chrono. Well, it was a position from Chrono, but Scott Sullivan not giving in quite just yet. Chrono does have the inside line. Sullivan trying to maximize the entry and get a drive out, having to avoid a little bit. And that's losing that position out for the time being. I'm sure Scott will not be giving into the position loss so easily and will continue to challenge Kernotis just up ahead. Beachley quite close. Still looking to make a move onto Dan Brace, as we said, having had P1 and P2. Oh, does manage to find some overlap, just not quite enough to make it stick. Does get a drive out though. Through the S's, having the outside line through Leocup. Sends it deep to get a great drive down the hill through Mineshaft. The Mercedes does have incredible straight line speed, but the exit of the McLaren seems to have the advantage here as they go into the Crocodiles Beachley still looking left, looking right. Just doesn't quite have enough. Did have the pace difference in qualifying, but doesn't seem to have been able to find it for the race here, as Dan Brace does have the fastest lap. They are almost identical lap for lap, 52.6 and 52.67, 56.22 between Beachley and Brace, and into the 51.5, 51.7 for Brace and Beachley respectively. This is an incredible battle, and maybe one that could be won in the pits. So looking forward to when they're going to be pitting. 50-minute race, probably another 10 minutes left for them to reach the middle of the race and decide what they're going to do for their pit strategy. Now, Maverick, unfortunately, having to serve a 10-second penalty in the pits, chasing down Potts Weaver for that 9th position. Only within a second of Potts, looking to make those positions up. Sullivan potentially dropping back a little to Chronotis, and as we say that, Chrono does find himself with percentage of his tire patch on the grass, but still not quite enough to give Scott Sullivan an advantage. Incredibly, as we are nearly 20 minutes into the race, the tightest battle on track is between P1 and P2. Unfortunately for Beachley, having lost out the start of the race, Dan Brace maximizing the start window as provided to him by ACC. Did get ahead, did stay ahead, as Beachley continues to pressure and continues to look left, continues to look right, and apply as much pressure onto Dan Brace and make him think about his actions and potentially making an error. Again, 51.2, 51.1 to Brace and Beachley respectively. Elmer deciding to pit early. Not sure if there's a situation or an issue, or just trying to get out of traffic. Sometimes that's what it takes. But let's see if the early pit strategy for Elmer is going to work out for him. I think he was somewhere in the P7 region, P6, P7 zone. So we'll have to follow up and see if that he makes progress through that. Again, Beachley and Brace, tightest battle on track. Sometimes I have to take a moment to think about whether I'm watching a real race or not. ACC's graphics are so cool, so strong. And I've heard of multiple people, a little bit less informed, let's say, to the layman, it does look like a real life racing. So that's pretty cool to hear, and that we're in this golden era of sim racing where things have gotten so good, and we, the consumers, get to enjoy them handedly here at TRACKILICIOUS. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're enjoying the racing, as we have 31 minutes and 31 seconds left in the race. Dan Brace leading, getting advantage of the launch from Justin Beachley, who did get pole position. We're not too far away from the realistic pit window, I should say, not having an official pit window to worry about here. Beachley constantly pressuring the car ahead, trying to make Dan think twice, trying to make Dan think 3 times, and find an advantage anywhere. And you know what? Look behind. Look at what's coming up just behind them. Alex Hansen taking advantage of this tete-a-tete to try and gain as much lap time as possible. Alex's pace not too far off. His best is quite a bit slower with half a second to be gained, but his last lap was actually faster. Actually, the last lap between Brace and Beachley were literally identical to the 1,000. 150.832 for both cars. Absolutely identical, but a couple hundredths faster for Alex Hansen with a 150.817. Alex hoping the battle up ahead gives him the opportunity to continue closing the gap, or maybe even an incident between the two, yielding him a P1 position. Again, folks, P2 might not be what you're looking for, but could be much better than P17. All about risk assessment. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna take the chance? Kyalami does have some overtaking opportunities, but it is still pretty hard to do so. Must take quite a gutsy move to make it happen. "30 minutes remaining." Heated battle between these two. I do actually want to go in and have a look at what Justin Beachley is looking at. It is so difficult at times to lap quickly, but it is even more difficult to lap with someone just ahead of you. You get distracted, your vision gets blocked, don't know where my braking points are sometimes, and Beachley doing a fantastic job applying pressure. As we say that, understeer throttles out a little too early here through the S's. Take a sip for us to enjoy the rumbles of the Mercedes here. Oh, and there it is. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The excitement has begun. Beachley seems to have gotten a pretty good entry into the pits. Is the undercut going to work? Dan, through turn 1. Or I should say turn 3, 4, and 5. Multiple cars coming in for their pit stops now. Through sunset now. Long stop for Beachley. Through clubhouse. Turn 7. And he gets rolling again. Looks like Alex made up quite a bit of time in the pit stop, closing up the 1.4 second gap to only 0.3. That was an incredible stop for Alex. So Dan practically a half a lap ahead, right at the bottom of the screen there, bottom of the map, number 46, coming through mine shaft now. Big winner so far, even though it wasn't a position gained, is Alex Hansen. Now the real question is, yeah, Mitch, they are. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, this is gonna be exciting. So Dan coming in, tap of the wall there, not optimal. Seems to have his pit limiter on. All right, Dan's in the pits. What is gonna happen? Let's go find. Where are you, Beachley? Race, no longer first. In the pits, has to stop. Beachley. Again, said predicted about a half a lap. Beachley looking on course. Where is he gonna come out? 2 more corners before he hits that front straight. Alex Hansen right behind. Is this gonna be position maintained for Dan Brace? Is this gonna be position lost or potentially 2 positions lost? As Beachley is now on the front straight. Brace rolling out. Beachley coming at pace. Brace ahead. It isn't quite enough. Lost time to Dan. Goodness. 1.5 seconds behind. That is huge loss for Justin Beachley, unfortunately. Yeah, Mitch, I believe it is mandatory pit stop, mandatory fuel. A minimum 25 seconds, so you have choice of tire for an additional 5 seconds or not. And I could double check that just to confirm. Yeah, refueling mandatory for 25 seconds with optional tires. So the 50 minutes really makes you have to think whether you want to take the tires or not. And I don't know if they all did take tires or didn't take tires. Now you gotta find setups. Well, I don't know if we have this set up. We should. Okay. So yeah, Mitch, we have links to Coach Dave Delta and Coach Dave setups. They are sponsors for some of our series. And if you're looking for a setup shop and or a tool to help improve your driving, Coach Dave Delta is where it's at. I'll get you the links after the race. Beachley losing out massive here. 1.4 seconds behind Dan Brace. Dan doing a phenomenal job into the pits. Alex Hansen as well. Now Beachley, rather than looking ahead, is under threat from Alex Hansen for that P2 spot. Hello, William. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Favorite local track? A native South African. Maybe you could help us, William, if you are indeed South African. We would love to know how to pronounce the name of corners 2 and 3. Sorry, 3 and 4. Goukaskei sweep. How is that properly pronounced? We'd love to know. and turn 10 for that matter. Leeukop and 16 INGWE. That'd be, if you could help us out as our local representative, that'd be huge. Looks like. So we're trying to figure out turn 4, turn 10, and turn 16. The very native sounding corners. Goukaskei sweep. Turn 4. Let's start with that one. As we continue to see Alex Hansen chasing down Justin Beachley. Spady Bud in the mix as well. Oh, he's not pitted yet. How's that properly pronounced? If you could phonetically type it so we could say it. Are any of the K's silent? Is the S silent? Oh, come on! Pretend South African. You have been caught, William. If that's even your real name. Beachley trying to close down this gap, but just not enough. Look at Dan Brace out in the distance. So it would be Ghoukasian sweep. Renko just behind Herald. Let's go through and see what the status of the grid is here. So we have Dan Brace in P1, Justin Beachley in P2, chased down by Alex Hansen. Alex Hansen closing down the gap quite quickly. Here, notice up into P4, Scott Sullivan in P5, Randy Gross P6, Bulgarin Alejandro in P7, top of the rookie class. George Elmer in P8, Potts Weaver in P9, Provolone in P10 as Spady Bud finally pits. Oh no, don't tell me you didn't fuel up. Doesn't look like he served his penalty, unfortunately. Vlad Maverick, P12. Caral Diaz in P13. Mariko Yatanashi in P14. Lily Chambers having to serve a drive-through. That, to me, feels like speeding through the pit lane, possibly. And then Dr. Porkchop with the back of the grid. Alex Hansen. Only half a second to Beachley. Has Beachley burned all the rubber off his tires? In Cape Town. How far is that from Kyalami, William? Hansen closing in. Oh. Oh no. Yes, Alex, it is my fault. I don't know if you know this, ladies and gentlemen, but hardware issues are contagious. So just make sure that if you know someone who is having hardware issues, that you don't team up with them, you don't drive with them. Hardware issues are contagious. 2025, it's on the bingo card. Ah, Herald, I'm sorry. That sucks. I was wondering who it was that had left the server, and Freeman, clearly it's you now, as Hansen continues to chase down Beachley. 2,000 kilometers. That's quite some ways. So about a 20-hour drive for you, assuming you drive 100 kilometers an hour most of the way. Oh, looks like we have another battle forming here with George Elmer doing a good job of trying to keep up with Alejandro Pulgarin. George Elmer having to deal with snow for the first time in New Orleans ever, or a very long time. Simnut Voltron livery here. So William, we're gonna go with Ghoukasian sweep. I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I want to guess that turn 10 Leeukop is Liukop, and 16 is Ingwe, Ingwe. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'd be happy to be corrected. Scott Sullivan, Ghoukasian, and correct. Liukop, Ingwe. It's 16. Ghoukasian, as in skiing. S. Ghoukasian sweep. Sullivan really chasing down Chrono here. Not happy about the overtake previously. Not that there's anything wrong, but just having lost the position. Mercedes on Mercedes, no advantage on machinery here, but Scott Sullivan now having found some new pace. Like as in skiing. Okay, so Ghoukasian sweep. Alright, we'll go with that. Hopefully it's right. Or I'll be made fun of by my zero. Oh no, I don't have zero South African friends. I actually do have a South African friend. Not sure if he would know the corner names at Kyalami, but oh, Scott really looking to make a move here. Scott Sullivan putting Chrono under immense amounts of pressure. Minutes left in the race. Beachley tightening up the gap to brace just a little bit, but not quite enough. This is probably the most exciting battle we have on the grid. Sullivan really applying a lot of pressure to Chronotis, but also Elmer onto the battle of the Mercedes apparently. Mercedes on Mercedes action left, right, and center here at Kyalami. Oh, Elmer looks on the inside, just keeps it tight, but just not quite enough. Pulgarin gets the better drive out. And Elmer not gonna give it up. Really nose to tail here. Is gonna have loads both getting a wiggle. And that's not quite what you want going onto the front straight. You really want to maximize that exit and get that draft. It is really difficult to overtake anywhere else but the front and really the back straights through mineshaft into the crocodiles. I think those are the main overtaking chances, unless you're absolutely bold to send it into barbecue. Seen it happen and seen a lot of smiles and a lot of tears, both following each other going off, but looks like George Elmer able to get it back onto the blacktop a lot faster than Pulgarin does. Oh my goodness, Pulgarin leading Elmer off into the weeds. And there you have it. That is overtake done and dusted by George Elmer. Now, Scott Sullivan, not so much just yet. Beachley, ooh, is caught up. I try to go back far enough. Ingwe has the same meaning in 2 of our 11 languages, Zulu and Xhosa. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Xhosa. What does it mean? Leopard. So we have cheetah and leopard. Very cool. Love learning languages. Thank you, William, for our informative session of learning Igbo. Thank you. I try very hard. Try and pronounce things correctly as per their native. Unacceptable, William. Haven't been here in years. Straight reason for ban, clearly bannable. That's okay. We were talking about it earlier. We understand life sometimes gets in the way of our passion of sim racing. I think I heard trying to get F1 back to Kyalami. Man, Beachley, I don't know what happened. I would love to go back and look, but Beachley is right on Dan Brace now with 10 minutes left, 8 minutes left in the race. This has gotten spicy, ladies and gentlemen, and not only that, but Scott Sullivan's also putting on a lot of pressure on Carnotis. This is the battle that I don't know which one to look at. It's incredible. Beachley having gapped a second and a half has found some magic somewhere in here. Dan Brace still has the fastest lap, but their last lap was nearly identical again. 150.697 to 150.695 for Brace and Beachley, respectively. This is going to be an unreal ending if these two continue to battle. Hopefully, they don't get themselves into a situation, which I'm sure Alex Hansen's going to disagree with. Oh, he's probably thinking, I hope they do get into a situation. Beachley does get a great run out of barbecue, I think. No, of Clubhouse into the S's here. Beachley having so much overspeed. Look at that. Just seems to have more grip than Brace does. Really late braking and is going to have the slingshot onto the straight here through mine shaft. Just not enough. Looks like, gosh, that exit velocity of the McLaren seems to be unreal. Welcome, boss lady. Hoping the pink car wins. The pink car is under a lot of pressure, actually, as Scott Sullivan is trying to make the pink car not win explicitly. But here we are. Oh, that's a wiggle for Beachley, and that's not what you want to see. That's going to be an opportunity for Brace to gap him again. 0.4 seconds. Looks like we have a situation between Provolone and Weaver back here, going side by side. Provi looking on the outside, Weaver on the inside. Now the situation changing and back again as they go through Cheetah. Oh no! Oh no! Weaver just not being able to keep it. And is victim to the grass on the outside of Cheetah and smacks right into the wall. Fortunately, the tire barrier there to soften the blow. I did download deliveries. Oh, we have Beachley side by side with Brayson having the inside line into the S's. Is it going to be enough? Not quite. Brace being braver on the inside, looking for the run on the exit of the S's. Beachley now really pushing Brace to his limits. I did, Alex. I downloaded all the liveries before the races started, and I don't know what's going on. Just blame it on me. It's fine. We're there. You can join the club. My wife's here. There you go. I told you. Join the club. Whoa! Alex Hansen has joined the party. Looks like Beachley got a pretty good exit. Bump drafting. Not sure if that's in your best interest, Justin Beachley. I don't think you want to push him forward. Maybe giving him that extra speed to miss his braking point, but not for someone like Dan Brace. Alex Hansen wants to get into the mix, looking for that P2 position because a podium just isn't quite enough. Before you get into P1, you got to get into P2. There you have it. You guys can form a club. Doors open. Yeah, Mitch, it is. This battle is incredible. These guys putting on an absolute clinic and show for us here at Trackalicious. Again, Beachley gets incredible exit speed out of, I think that was barbecue. No, that's not barbecue. That was clubhouse. Keep confusing barbecue and clubhouse. Beachley looking to do something with only 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the race. Big deep braking into Leo Cup. Alex Hansen as well getting himself into the mix. Beachley does get a bit of a wiggle on the exit. A sandwich of McLarens with the middle of a Mercedes. Almost Oreo flavored here. Hansen sends it on the inside. Is he going to be able to break in time? Oh my goodness, he does. He does manage to keep it on the road. Unbelievable move by Hansen. I thought that was for sure going to send him off. Beachley now looking on the inside. Hansen having to take a wider line. Hansen gets the exit. Does make the move stick. And now Beachley down into third place. Dan Brace gets a bit of breathing room with only a couple of laps to go. Huge send by Hansen. Indeed, Mitch. And that, I did not think that was going to work. But my God, the cojones on that guy. And does make it stick. Goodness, what a move. Dan Brace now with some breathing room. Is there going to be enough time for these two to get closer, to give Hansen or give Dan Brace a challenge? Hansen making a mistake now, slowing Beachley down. Oh, these two working against each other almost. Giving Dan Brace the room to breathe. Are they going to have the pace to make it up? Is Alex Hansen going to get a chance for another huge send? There's likely 2 more laps remaining in this race. Brace is going to be counting down every bit of those seconds and try to end this as quickly as possible. But it is going to be a couple more laps for him. And he is going to have to look behind him because these two have incredible pace. And they are on the charge to try and gain that P1 position. Unfortunately, though, on the other side, Scott Sullivan hasn't found the magic quite yet to make that move onto Professor Kurnotis. Still in P5, but still on the hunt, trying to make something happen here in South Africa. Back to the action for P1. They are closing the gap. Dan Brace seems to have just smoked his tires. Doesn't quite have the grip that Hansen and Beachley do. Hansen absolutely flying through Cheetah as they make their way into Ingwe, the final corner of the track, closing the gap now to 0.5 seconds. McLaren on Mercedes. There is no advantage between the two cars of Hansen and Brace, and Hansen is on the charge. Has done with Beachley and is now looking ahead. Beachley in a bit of a gap now, but Hansen closing in on Dan Brace. Is he gonna have enough time? Are there enough corners for him to catch up to that P1 position of Dan Brace and make this move happen, to make this move stick? First, you gotta catch up. It is one thing to catch up. It is an entirely different thing to overtake, as they both fly through sunset here, going into what is definitely barbecue this time. Hansen, 0.7 seconds, hasn't quite found it. Dan, a bit of a wiggle up ahead. That does help close the gap now into only half a second, as we see in our external timing charts. But is it enough? He only has a couple of corners left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 corners remaining. Huge slide by Brace is not what he wants on the exit here. Hansen looking ahead, looking threatening. Dan Brace sending it through mineshaft. Immense braking position through the crocodiles. Oh my goodness, Hansen right on the tail here with 2 corners remaining. There's barbecue. And then there's Ingwe. Hansen does not get an optimal exit out of barbecue. He is right on the tail of Brace. Is he going to have the drive out? Does not look like it. Brace does manage to secure the win here in the 3rd race of the season. What an incredible drive by all 3 of these drivers. Absolutely fantastic. What a move by Brace to send it in to that position. Scott Sullivan, oh my goodness, almost getting Professor Carnotus on the line. Incredible. Wow, Provolone looking to make a move a little farther, but isn't quite enough. Oh my goodness. Wow. Weaver, after a mistake. Barbecue is the name of a corner, boss lady. Coming through the smoke, Potts Weaver in P8. Maverick P9. Yatanashi in 10. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can get these guys in for an interview. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that, because I sure as heck did. Wow. Alex Big Balls Hansen. What a freaking send into that corner, into the crocodiles. Wow, that was incredible by you guys. Let's start with you, Alex. So looks like at the start of the race, didn't quite have the pace to keep up with these guys, but then somehow magically found that pace at the end of the race. Tell us a little bit about the end of your race and that insane move that I for sure thought you were going to take both Beachley and Brace out with.
At the start of the race, I had some problems with Silverin. I could not overtake him. Finally managed, and I saw that I'm actually gaining on P1 and P2. So, all right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Then it was 1 second behind Beachley. I see him go into the pit stop. for some reason, I just made a decision to go behind him, and that was probably the best pit stop I've ever had. We almost had a race out of the pit stop. Oh, and then just I put used tires accidentally on the pit stop. Tried to do everything I can. Beachley was doing such a great job running away. And then I made a mistake and somehow managed to overtake these guys, Beachley.
So yeah, your mistake ended up being to your benefit. You made a mistake and ended up overtaking Beachley. So Justin, how was it from your point of view? Because I was terrified. I don't know how it was from your seat.
I was scared. I was trying to go on the right side, but I saw it's too much. Too much on the right side. I started braking on the grass, hoping Beachley would see me. Yeah, he saw me and probably just gave me a room.
Beachley, how's that from your perspective?
Alex is pretty well, pretty got it like nailed on there. Yeah, I was too worried about Dan, just trying to get by him, like anywhere but the straights, like I was quicker. And it was just, couldn't get close enough to pass. And then I did see Alex coming, and it was just like, okay, I was kind of hoping he'd overshoot too much, and I'd just cross over and pass him again. But, it was over at that point. But, it's, that was a ridiculous race. If that's, how the rest of the season is going to be, looking forward to it.
How's your perspective of the start? Because from where it looked like Dan was ahead, and I thought for sure he was going to get a penalty.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was, perfectly in the middle of my box, and I think it's just ACC things. I think that's been happening to a few people. I know at Barcelona, I think Chrono was like inside somebody at the start. Like it was like the start boxes have been kind of odd, but I'm just kind of figured that was the case, and I think had we been a little bit more even, might have got ahead of Dan and been able to keep him behind, but it is what it is. Not really too mad about it.
Well, gents, thank you for providing a phenomenal race. It was very enjoyable. You guys did a fantastic job. I know, unfortunate for you, Beachley, losing the P2 on that losing P1 on the first corner and then losing P2 practically on the last corner. Not quite the way that you would want to do it, but incredible racing from both of you and Dan, who's not here to speak his truths. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys putting on a fantastic race. Greatly appreciated, and look forward to watching you guys next week. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you for the stream, Eric.
Mitch, that was not the rookies race. The rookies race were the two races prior to this one, and this one was the Open Series. And with that being said, I'm gonna bid you all a good night from where I am. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. We're gonna raid This Dad Is Bad. Stick around, please. Go raid him and follow him, because for every raider that he has and every follower, every raider I think is a 1 push-up, and every follower is I think 5 push-ups. So let's go give This Dad Is Bad, aka Mike, a couple of push-ups. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody enjoyed it. And see you on the next one. For now, I'm Eric Ghoukasian. Good night, and see you at the next one.